I sat rigid at the mahogany dining table in our family's Connecticut home, the one that always felt more like a museum than a haven. Watching my sister Lauren gesture wildly as she recounted her latest corporate triumph. Mom and Dad hung on her every word, their faces glowing under the crystal chandelier that had been in the Harrington family for generations, a relic I'd never inherit. "So there I was," Lauren said, her manicured nails slicing the air, pitching to the board when the entire network crashes. But I had my data backed up on a flash drive, nailed it. And the VP practically begged me to take his spot. Dad chuckled, deep and approving. "That's my girl. Always one step ahead." Mom beamed, patting Lauren's arm, prepared for anything. Across from me, my fiancé Jake offered a quiet nod, his architect's keen eye catching the subtle quake in my fingers as I lifted my wine glass. He knew the undercurrents here, the way I always faded into the background at these gatherings. Dessert arrived, pecan pie, Mom's specialty, and she bustled off to fetch the old photo albums from the den. My gut twisted. This was the ritual, the one that paraded the Harrington legacy while I lingered on the edges like an afterthought. "Thought Jake might like a peek," Mom said with that practiced sweetness, "especially with the engagement." Jake squeezed my knee under the table. "I'd love that, Mrs. Harrington." The pages flipped open to summers at the Cape, Thanksgivings in the Hamptons, birthdays with matching outfits. I showed up sporadically, a solemn kid with wild curls, always a step removed. Dad narrated. Lauren chimed in with quips that drew laughs. But Jake's brow furrowed as he leaned in closer. When Mom stepped away for coffee refills, Jake whispered, his breath warm against my ear, "Emma, these pics, they're photoshopped. Your face, it's identical in half of them. Pasted over different scenes." The spoon clattered from my hand. "Drawing stairs. Clumsy me," I mumbled. But my mind raced. Flashes, Mom critiquing my posture before guests arrived. Lauren's effortless inclusion in family trips I'd missed due to illness. Dad dismissing my questions about my early years. The album snapped shut too quickly. "Old film quirks," Dad said gruffly. Lauren steered the talk to wedding colors. But I pushed back. "I want to see them again." Silence blanketed the room. Mom's grip whitened on the leather. For the first time, I saw the fear flickering behind their polished masks. Back in our Brooklyn apartment that night, Jake hooked his laptop to his external drive, pulling up the snaps he'd discreetly taken of the albums. "You sure?" he asked, his voice soft but steady. I nodded, perching on the armrest as software grids overlaid the images. "Look here, your expression. Lighting. Even the shadows on your face match exactly across 3 different holidays. Pixel for pixel identical." My throat closed up. Easter brunch. 4th of July barbecue. Ski trip, all fabricated insertions. Impossible, I breathed. But the data screamed otherwise. Buried fragments bubbled up, a woman's voice in a language that tugged at my edges. Instructions to forget the old stories. Jake zoomed in on metadata. Edits date back to 97 to 98. Shadows don't align with the others in the frame. This wasn't fixing, this was forging. The world tilted. I paced the creaky floors, piecing together the voids. No baby pictures. No birth stories that added up. We drove back the next morning, parking outside the manicured lawn where I'd grown up feeling like an intruder. Through the window, Mom fussed with faces. A performance of normalcy. "Ready?" Jake asked. "No," I admitted. But we went in anyway. The air crackled. Dad stood by the mantel like a sentinel. Mom sat prim on the couch. Lauren lurked in the hall, eyes darting. "What's this ambush?" Dad demanded. I drew a breath. "The photos are faked. My face was added later." Mom waved it off. "Touch-ups. Dear." You were camera shy as a kid. But her voice cracked. Or I wasn't there at all, I countered. Silence thundered. Show us my birth certificate. Adoption papers. Lauren inhaled sharply. Dad's face darkened. We've given you everything: a home, Ivy League tuition, that job at the firm. Ungrateful. Mom snapped. Everything. And you throw it back? The threat lingered. My position at Ellis and Crow. Courtesy of Dad's connections. Lauren called later. Voice thick. Emma. Please. Mom's falling apart. Dad's rewriting the will. Can't we pretend for the family's sake? Pretend, the word echoed. Stirring more shards, a woman speaking Croatian. Urging bravery, Mom hissing to forget your old mama. Panic surged. Who was I without the Harrington script? That night, Jake dug deeper. Metadata pins the fakes to 97 to 98, right around the Balkan refugee waves. Vindication burned. But so did doubt. They'd housed me for 28 years. Did uprooting their lies make me the villain? A day later, my boss Karen called. Tone laced with concern. Emma, your father mentioned instability. A breakdown. My desk spun. Dad. Infiltrating my professional world. I'm fine, I insisted. But the walls closed in. Clients pulled out. Citing personal drama. Mom's whispers at their social circles. No doubt. Chopping onions that evening. The knife nicked my finger. And suddenly I was 5. In a stark office with buzzing lights. Suits murmuring. A flashbulb popping. Smile for your new family. Not the citrus-scented woman. Wrong arms. I crumpled to the floor. Hyperventilating. As memories fractured through, lullabies in a tongue I half knew. Bread baking. Tears as hands pulled me away. Jake found me there. Sat wordless until I could speak. Nothing's real. Sleep evaded me after. Nightmares of separation clawing nightly. I journaled obsessively, school records starting mid-kindergarten. No preschool docs. Accent therapy for my lisp. Our neighbor Mrs. Patel knocked one weekend with brownies. You look worn. Dear. Remind me of those news stories, missing kids from the wars. Her words froze me. Refugee children vanished in transit. 2 days before Christmas. I showed up unannounced. Half-hung lights. Undecorated tree, chaos in their perfect world. Answers, I demanded. Dad sneered at Jake's conspiracy. But I pressed. I remember Croatian. Being told to forget. Dad sagged. We pulled you from chaos. Be thankful. Jake interjected. Calm as steel, you exploited her for asylum fraud. Mom's face betrayed it all. The blow landed stolen. Not saved. Back home. Jake scoured databases for 97 Croatian refugees. Patterns emerged, kids listed on papers with gaps. Wartime haste. My phone exploded with pleas. Threats. I ignored. Focusing on truth. A week post-Christmas. I dialed 911. I think I was abducted as a child. Waiting. A name surfaced from overheard fights, Zagreb. Then split. The officer arrived. I showed a LinkedIn profile, Anna Kovac. Eyes mirroring mine. In Zagreb. Next day at the precinct. I laid it out, highlighted fakes. Metadata. Journaled memories. Officer Reyes nodded. Skepticism fading as facial rec hit 100% matches. No early docs, I added. The door burst, Mom and Dad. Feigning worry. Delusions from stress, Dad boomed. Mom piled on, house fire lost papers. Lies unraveled when Lauren appeared. Blurting Yugoslav passports from the trip. Detective Hayes stepped in, adoption through U.S. agencies? Silence. Federal escalation, immigration fraud. Alone with Hayes. The question, press charges? They raised me. yet robbed another mother of 28 years. Grief warred with rage. At Jake's, we messaged Anna. Her reply, daughter Mila taken 97. Details matching star blanket. Bakery flat. Raven song. DNA, 92% familial. Relief shattered me. Mom and Dad confessed at the station, paid off a camp official amid war desperation. Hayes arranged the call. Anna's face filled the screen. Tears mirroring mine. My Mila. They lawyered up. Offering settlement, house fund. Dream wedding. Family, Dad pleaded. Tessa texted Venom, destroying us out of jealousy? I stalled. That night, video with Anna, she held a worn poster, my child face. Missing, Mila Kovac. Memories flooded, citrus kitchen. Sunlight balconies. Mom and Dad interrupted. Begging. We gave everything. I stood tall. You took everything, my roots. My truth. For days on. In the Fed office with Anna flown in. Docs piled, my real cert. Born Mila in Zagreb 94. Moved to Split. Harrington's face charges fraud. Abduction. Agent Gray, citizenship revoked. Deportation looms. Mom sobbed, Dad calculated. Lauren's status? Under review, fraudulent birthright. Raiding the attic. I found a rag doll. Croatian embroidery whispering heritage. Bridge to reclaim. Nearly a year later. With attorney M.S. Lopez. Anna's reunification approved. I led. Spine unbowed. Practiced Croatian nightly, dreamed in it. Healing. Our Thanksgiving, simple. Real, mismatched plates. Jake's flowers. Anna arrived with her album Raw. True snaps, tricycle me. Cake smeared. Infant in her arms. Our balcony geraniums, you watered them. Engagement party, lights. Friends. Anna's Kifli pastries evoking home. Invites mailed, dual languages. Bridging worlds. Advocacy brochure on desk. I'd speak for separated families. Last envelope, Harrington's. Seal it? Forgiveness or closure. The price of truth weighed heavy. But I posted it, olive branch amid scars. Whole as Emma and Mila.